stages of, mass adoption. You have early or pre-adoption, you have early adopters, you have mass awareness, and then you have mass adoption. And right now, I think we're kind of in the stage of just still pre-adoption. This year, first of all, let me give you a little bit who I am. So, Jamar James, I'm a cryptocurrency consultant. I'm a blockchain consultant. I also run a cryptocurrency hedge fund or manage a cryptocurrency hedge fund. I have about 4 traders that work under me. And really, the company that created the hedge fund, they had a Forex and they had a stock, and they basically brought me on to basically challenge and see what would the gains would be. Not that they're gonna, go all in cryptocurrency. And I wouldn't advise anyone out there to invest 100% in cryptocurrency. It's volatile and it's new. So, this year the market has gone up and down. There's a lot of regulation going on, and regulation is good for any industry in the financial markets, and especially when you have cryptocurrency, which is an asset. The blockchain is a technology. So it's equivalent of, the internet. The internet is the technology. Facebook, MySpace, that is the asset that runs on top of the internet. Blockchain can be here. The technology can be here. Cryptocurrencies could not go away. It basically is going to be determined on how the guys sitting in this room adapt to it. So with this year being a regulation, there's a lot of laws. Last year, 2 years ago, cryptocurrency wasn't considered a currency. It was just something to play with, something that wasn't really established. Now you have guidelines that are in the IRS on what to do. You have Congress. You have companies that are accepting the blockchain and, making forecasting 2-3 years out, 4 years out, 5 years out on the, how they're going to implement it. So, you have a lot of old school guys, thinking, well, it's not real, it's not going to be here. They kind of said that about Facebook. They said that about, Google. Things happen where companies reorganize based on individuals and the usage. This is kind of like the first time in history where people is forcing the government to look at any other currency as money, right? We normally have the dollar, and the dollar is established, globally. And there's outliers, people like me that are living 100% off cryptocurrency. I walk around with not credit cards, but with a BitPay card that has a Visa logo that you can spend money and you can buy vehicles, so you can spend it as a currency. Now, you have IBM, Accenture, you have all these corporate entities that have similar initiatives to kind of reorganize to introduce the blockchain, which is the technology part of cryptocurrency. Going into the future, people always say, well, what's going to happen in the future? And, when I had the presentation last night to the business class, a lot of times we were taught to go to school, go to college, get a good job, and then maybe become a business owner. Things are changing now. When I had a presentation last night, it was really we talked about Kylie Jenner, like how her brand is basically transforming and competing with an entire department store. Who would thought Macy's would have to downsize and reorganize and start competing online? Now Kylie Jenner can get paid $500,000 per tweet, and her makeup line is pretty much dominating and selling more than entire department stores by being an influencer. So, with cryptocurrency and people doing peer-to-peer transactions, it's opening up individuals to the entire world, right? And there's companies have already become global, but people are becoming global. And this is kind of changing the way business is done. So right now, cryptocurrency, really the blockchain, is changing banking, right? 90% of the banks out there have a blockchain initiative. Smart contracts is going to impact every aspect of business. These are predefined contracts with terms already established, eliminate third parties. Manufacturing, I'm a consultant and I meet with different companies that are already established that's planning these 2 to 5 year plans out. And some of these companies, through supply chain management, they're already adapting to the blockchain. They're putting initiatives out that, hey, if you're a vendor and you're working with us, we want to see all our supplies on the blockchain. I'm working with proof of concepts with different universities. They want to track all of the grades and all of the assignments through the blockchain. So this way, when a student or a potential new employee is going to an employer, he can submit his transcripts directly to the employer. Same thing with the dental and medical. Giving the individuals, it'd be great for you to be able to pull out a cell phone and basically send your medical records to anyone you wanted to. Or you can go to a different dentist and basically have them look at your x-rays that you don't have to get charged again. You have your entire dental record on your mobile phone. For me personally, what cryptocurrency, the use of it has done is, basically gave me freedom to travel. Since I'm a trader, I could pretty much trade anywhere as cryptocurrency is a global market. It's no different than having currency going across the world. I'm able to move around, not having to have a regular 9 to 5 and work during regular business hours. I can trade currency, 24 hours a day based around my life. And equal opportunity, that's an old word, but now everyone here has the opportunity to either adapt, to get involved, and look at the technology as a way to increase their business. I'm gonna skip some of the slides that I have. So, one of the things I'm gonna talk about later on is basically the ability of companies, businesses to embrace the technology to actually increase their bottom line now, while even having to implement things. It's really the education and being on the cutting edge. So I work with realtors. It's a realtor group in LA called the Crypto Realty Group. If you go on LinkedIn, her name is, I'm going to show a slide. She's basically done 5 transactions in cryptocurrency, peer-to-peer in real estate. And just by embracing that on LinkedIn, she's gotten more and more business just by saying that, hey, I'm a cryptocurrency blockchain expert in real estate. And she's been found. So it's the aspect of embracing it. When I was in the Marines, one of the things that helped me in my business career, I've had an IT company for 16 years. I sold it in 2016. I got into real estate, moved to Arizona and started a real estate company there. And then I got into the stock market. The one thing I did was basically adapted to what was coming. So, I had a CRM company 16 years ago when it was first starting. Moved to Arizona when the real estate boom was just happening. Right now I see a big opportunity. I was in day trader and I embraced cryptocurrency a little early and all of a sudden, it worked out. So, from my experience, embracing the technology, is giving yourself a competitive advantage on just in the marketplace. Business owners have to be comfortable with the unknown. Me being from a Marine Corps background, you have to be comfortable with the unknown. You can't plan everything out because when you plan things out, you have to be able to adjust. So with cryptocurrency, and there's a lot of negative bias, people have a predisposition to what it is. And it's more than that. There is a demand. Right now on the blockchain, for blockchain developers, this is number one demanded freelancers, people that they don't want to go into work. They don't want to be in 8 to 5, but they are in demand. So the number one demand for talent on Upwork is blockchain developers, people that's in the blockchain. Supply chain management. I have companies calling me from Spain. Talked to a dairy product earlier today in Alabama, and they're basically saying that, hey, we want to get our dairy on the blockchain. They want to become, in the future, we'll be able to go in a grocery store because of the blockchain, and you'll be able to scan a piece of meat and know where exactly that piece of meat came from, how long it took to transport to the store, or when did it get slaughtered, by who it got slaughtered by. And the companies that don't adapt to that, they're going to be at a disadvantage. So you may go into Stater Brothers one day, Trader Joe's. Trader Joe has the scan. You can scan a piece of meat in the supply chain management, and you may pay a premium for that meat. But then people that go to Stater Brothers, they may question that, this meat may have been here for 3 months. Now I know, I have more transparency. So that's one thing the blockchain does, is basically give more transparency. Helps for the accounting. So, one of the companies that I work with is Volton, and they're basically creating certificates. The supply chain management, it impacts education, food, identity, finance, and even wearable devices. So, there's applications already out there. There's companies already out there that have developed finished products where you don't have to start from scratch. You just have to know how, you have to adapt and see how it can help your company have the competitive advantage. So, a couple of interesting crypto facts is, 90% of all the North American and European banks are investing in blockchain, which is huge. $1 billion has already been invested in blockchain companies. We have hedge funds that are looking for different technologies to invest in. So, this is something that business owners look at, and then the consumers, they're looking at the growth. They're looking at just Bitcoin as a trader. People say, hey, how do you deal with the volatility? Well, I just trade in every day. I have traders, they trade every day. Some people hold, but if they would have held 2009, 2011, just the growth of it is showing that it's progressing. It's not regressing. The amount of users starting to use cryptocurrency is actually increasing. Even with the price volatility, it's still, every 2 years it goes up. So, for mass adoption to happen, for consumers to embrace cryptocurrency, they have to have usability, accessibility, and anonymity. Right now, we have the biggest problem with cryptocurrency, besides the taxes, people actually paying taxes, is the stability of the price and the transparency. Guys that have a high net worth individual, they don't want anyone to be able to scan their wallet and see how much they're worth, right? So that's one of the biggest problems, on top of paying taxes. I think last year it was reported something like 1,200 people in 2017 reported that they had cryptocurrency in the United States, which is totally not forthcoming. In Japan, 97% of the people that use cryptocurrency reported and paid in taxes. So we have a cultural thing, a difference in the United States, which is slowing down the mass adoption. So, one of the things, being here with business owners, and we're saying that things are changing. I put these influencers up just to show that how business is being done is changing. Evan Tube, this is a kid that's making maybe a couple of million a year on YouTube, right? All these are kids that are making money based on their influence, based on, their following. So the way business is being done is actually changing. I probably make, off of coaching, maybe $20,000 a month, and it's just based off my 5,000 Facebook friends, with no marketing, no anything, and that's teaching people cryptocurrency. So the way business is actually being able to influence and get press and get information, people are becoming more valuable. Millennials 123 is a company that I also work with, and they're saying that a lot of companies are having a hard time retaining employees because employees or new millennials aren't just attracted by money. They want to know what are they involved in. What is the company's, what are their values? So there's a shift in, even in future business. It's not going to be just, hey, we want to hire you, we want to give you a high salary. It's like, what else are you going to do? So with cryptocurrency and the blockchain, it's ideal. I work with a lot of developers, a lot of blockchain companies. They pay their employees in cryptocurrency. And then the employees have to go and switch it to fiat. And this is going to create a brand loyalty, or it's going to create more work ethic with those employees, because they're going to say, hey, we're getting this currency. We want that price to rise. You know, we want people to want this currency. So that is one way. And then now cryptocurrency, they also have, there's also new technologies that's coming on that's going to kind of impact what's happening right now, like YouTube. Everyone here knows YouTube. Well, there's competitors now, DTube, BitTube. They're paying the actual user to upload their content, and it's getting paid by the viewers. So YouTube gets paid by the advertisers to advertise to the audience. Now with cryptocurrency, individuals are able to get paid directly. You know, and this is a shift. It's peer-to-peer. And that's one big thing about cryptocurrency, peer-to-peer relationships. Brands are going to establish relationships with their customer, and they can get paid directly. So online gaming, you know, they're actually paying in cryptocurrency. You know, there's guys making full-time income off of playing online video games. The future is changing. I think a lot of video games and gaming industry, they're going to be higher paid than professional athletes because it opens it up to a global market. So you have guys on Twitch and Discord, they're making subscription-based $100,000, $200,000 a month by their own following and playing video games. So this is just a new mind shift. And the whole thing about this presentation that I want to take away is that times are changing now, and it's relationship-based, it's influencing-based, and it's also adapting, you know, and accepting the technology that's coming. So with that being said, you know, the times are changing, and cryptocurrency is going to be here in the future. So, okay.
How'd you do that?
I know, it's quick, right?